Let's get started. Meeting, Commission on Social Status of African American Males, Wednesday, February 12th, 2020. Roll call.
Arthur Payne.
Present.
Joan Ganshaw told me she couldn't make it. Latanya Troutman, present. Marty Corley. Probably was strolling a little late. Willie Millsap.
Present.
Pastor Jakara Williams. He's strolling in a little late. Pastor Dennis Carroll.
Present.
Nyla Williams. Present. Lester Norvell. Tracy Tillman. Present. Jean is not here. Felice Kelly. Albertine Allen. Present. And Walter Cox.
He's here.
All right, now we have a quorum of 7.
All right. Moving on down, everybody got a copy of the minutes of the last meeting. Any adjustments, changes, comments, or motion?
Motion.
Second.
A motion to accept, a second.
Second.
Any questions, comments? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes carried. Thank you. Treasurer's report. Marty is not here, so hopefully he'll show, but
He emailed it to us, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm
he
finished.
usually do it. Okay, but somebody got to give us the last figure. If you got the financial report, if you just give us the last, the balance on it.
I have it here.
Good.
So, for the February, we have an ending balance of $2,748.92. It looks like, as from our last meeting, there was a $155 payout to the annual Black Male State Conference, and then a $50 donation from Baja Youth Services, who just walked in the building. Thank you for that. And a $500 sponsorship from the Blue Chip Casino for the Black History Month events and activities, which give us a total of $2,748.92.
Okay, let's just see.
All right.
All right.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
could we open with the Pledge of Allegiance?
Oh, is that the flag you made that for us?
Yeah.
I ain't got no problem
Would that
with
be a standard operational
Yeah, we-
right.
procedure,
Yeah, we
or
said
is that just for this time?
No,
Yes,
no,
we made it a standard procedure.
But I was waiting on the flag. That's
I thought that's what we were going to do.
So you wanna lead us up,
That's the
Reverend? You wanna lead us?
Okay.
I thought we were waiting on the flag.
Yeah, that's the flag right there. The mayor said he's gonna get us a flag.
Yeah, well, I'll be.
He
said, we did better with Virginia sweater. Better with Virginia sweater.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Pastor, thank you for reminding us of that. Matter of fact, each meeting remind us early.
You already know, right?
Okay, Pastor, claim a seat.
As the attendance on show, Lester Norvell and Pastor Williams did show.
Okay, what I wanted to do before we got to going, John, before we got into the business aspect, introduce new people, but we need to get the election out of the way. Joan is not here, she's the vice chair, so I feel uncomfortable running, so I'm turning to the secretary. If we will
To run the election.
conduct the election, see if there's any nominations or whatever.
Okay, so it is that time, which technically this was supposed to happen back in January for our election. So I am going to open up the floor to see if anybody would like to offer or accept an offer for president, or if everybody is happy with the current president. But if you are interested in running for president, please say aye this time. Okay, with no, other nominations for the, is there any nominations from the floor, Mr. Fly or Ms. George, for president? Okay, having seen none, I will accept just Mr. Payne's continuation as president. Is there any nomination for vice president to the commission at this current time? Would anybody like to run for vice president? If so, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So Pastor Carroll has a nomination for vice president. And go ahead.
Okay. Can we just back away for a second?
Sure.
I would like to know if you want to stay in this position, how do you feel?
Seems like I've been in it forever,
I know,
so
but I just want
No, you ain't
you to
perfect.
have the floor and say, yes, I'm
I'm very
interested.
comfortable. You see, I didn't say nothing. So that says something right there.
Okay, I'm good with that.
I'm very comfortable.
I'm good with that.
Okay, well, that's that.
Okay, so the nomination for Arthur Payne for president. And then we have a nomination by Pastor Carroll for vice president. John's not here, so
Right, I was just saying, I feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Could we hold that, and let's, and Marty's not here either, he's the treasurer, so let's hold off on the rest of the election until our next meeting.
Can we at least continue to see if there's nominations and then we can just have her or decide?
Well, we got the one for vice, is anybody interested in being treasurer?
Anybody else interested in being treasurer?
Well, and then, like she actually, we're gonna ask Marty, because he's got new responsibilities.
Exactly.
So he's gonna learn. So let's just hold off on the rest of the election until the next meeting.
Because if I'm not mistaken, there was supposed to be a nominating committee formed.
And which we do have on the agenda
Normally
because
less than them, you to nominate, but no problem, just for time. Let's, because we got a lot to cover.
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing I want to do is, we have a new member, is taking the place of the Ministerial Alliance, Reverend Carnes. So, Pastor Jakari, if you'd like to introduce yourself, and then we'll have all the members let you know who they are.
Pastor Jakar Michael Williams, Senior Pastor, New Hope Church, Michigan City, Indiana. This is my second committee I'm on. I'm on the North Central Board as well. That's all about me. Yeah.
Back up and say that again.
This is the second board committee I'm on.
No, you are Pastor
New Hope,
New Hope.
West Side.
All right.
Yeah.
And I didn't have no secret.
To be more specific.
I didn't have no secret.
Senior
That's the
Yes,
Pastoral
ma'am.
Alliance. That's the
Okay,
Pastoral.
and there's no connection.
No connection whatsoever.
I'm a young buck.
Yeah, he's a baby. I saw him do a masterful job.
Yeah,
I'll take
I
it.
thought he was a high
I'll
school
take
student.
Please.
Honest.
No,
that was a compliment.
he looks like a baby, but he's no kid. I saw him do a masterful job on a homecoming.
Man, thank
Wow.
you. Thank you,
As a
sir.
matter of fact, he's been there 4 years. He was younger when he came. 28 Pastor? 20?
Yeah, 28.
So he just turned 18.
Yeah.
Just turned 12.
So, like quick starting with Consulate, if everybody will introduce himself so he'll know who he's dealing with.
Tracy Tillman, City Councilwoman for the 5th Ward, Michigan City, and also the 40 Child Support Division Supervisor of LaPorte County.
Pastor Dennis Carroll, St. John's United Church of Christ. I'm president of the Northwest Association for the UCC here in Indiana, with 42 churches from here all the way around Indianapolis. So,
Albertine Allen. Currently, I'm interim executive director for Minority Health Partners of LaPorte County. Been there since 2002. Former assistant director for Charlie Westcott at Elite Youth Center.
Merry Christmas. I am Latanya Troutman with the LaPorte County Branch NAACP Branch 3061. I'm the Environmental Climate Justice Chair as well as Communications Director.
You know me, Pastor.
You know me, Pastor.
Yeah.
We sit on North Central.
Yeah. I'm W. Tony Cox. Been here a little over a year and a half now. I've been on the committee for a year in Washington, D.C. and enjoying the small town atmosphere.
You know me already. There you go.
Yeah, my name is Lester Norvell. I'm retired and did 44 years in law enforcement, corrections, and counseling. So I'm just enjoying a good life now.
What's up? I'm Kenneth Fly, founder and president of Fire Youth Services. I'm a real boss.
All right, appreciate that. I got two. Let me touch this. I'll make sure we don't send it on here. I have two things that I wanted to do right quick. One was that's a tremendous article. You know, I read it after you said something last week.
Yes.
Wow, it's beautiful. I mean, if you haven't read the article she got in here about getting more than trims at local barbershops, you need to read it. I mean, it's an outstanding article, and we're blessed to be a part of it. So I just wanted to mention that. I read it, and man, I didn't realize you had talked to him for an hour or two. And it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And let's keep it up. We can get some national notification, recognition out of that. But this just turned into a wonderful thing. And the other thing I wanted to say, hopefully we can do that every month. You must be doing your job. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to congratulate you on what I'm saying. It was in the
we got it
paper.
in there.
So we be there every month.
Yeah.
I love it. So it's a good start for this year. Now, let's get to business. We got the election out of the way. Now, this youth leadership council thing is becoming a problem. We work with youth. We shouldn't have no problem picking somebody, and we haven't got anybody yet. We're holding up the progress. Somebody ought to know. You know some youth, don't you, man?
Yeah, I know if I was.
Yeah. You got
Oh, of course. Yeah.
16, what is 16?
16 and 22.
To 22.
You need to
First of all,
one.
has anybody got a name? Because I told Brother Fitzpatrick we hopefully try to have a name before this meeting because they didn't start it and they
Had a
full
meeting on the
complement.
24th that they wanted the candidate to be a part of.
Well, I've plenty of students that's good in school and probably can qualify for that. I just wasn't sure if I was.
Definitely.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if you have somebody that you think you make the commitment
Okay.
and be a part,
That's great. Yeah, I'm sure. Morning. Yeah, I'm sure. Give me a couple days. I'll give you a call on the phone.
wait a minute, Marty,
Sir.
do you have a name for the youth committee?
Youth committee?
Youth leadership committee?
Appointee, we remember.
Reno's-
I do not know.
Okay, Reno's asking because I want us to try to move on that. So if you got an individual you think is different,
Yep.
get in touch with Marty.
Okay, I definitely
And,
will.
and then if Marty clear it, then we'll send you right on.
Right on.
I mean,
That's what's
but
up.
get in touch with Marty and
So
y'all,
they'd be representing
the commission.
the commission. Okay, that's great. That's
But
great.
get in touch with Marty and y'all work something out.
All right. Do you have some information about it that I can tell them?
I have all they really need is to fill out an application, not get your application.
Well, I give them a dialogue of what's going on and what they.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
She'll take care of that. Okay, Treasurer was here, we used the last numbers, but you want to do some,
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you guys had I got an updated report.
they use the number you emailed to them, I guess.
Yeah, that's okay.
2700 or something close to that.
Yeah, 27, 48, 92.
Okay.
I have two requests. So if you look at the February 10th edition of 500 and then the January 3rd edition of $100, those are for Black History Month activities and events. Majority of the sponsors are just send them straight to Essence Rare. Well, I still have a couple that will still send them to the city.
That's not, that's a holding stage for us.
Yeah, so I need
Motion to pass.
a motion to send those to Essence Rare.
So moved. Second.
Any question? It's been moved and second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
And then if anybody wants a treasury report, I had printed something out. I don't know if you guys have printed them out. So if you just want one for your records.
I will for the
If you want for your records, you can have one for it.
We'll pass it around. And since we on that, I'm glad we came.
It's all in the package. It's all in the package.
For the last 2 years, we've been supporting the chess club at Edgewood. Under Miss Thompson, she was there, but since she retired, Miss Smith took her place as the principal, and she's continuing the things that Peggy started. So I met with her on Monday, and she said that the young man had come to her to continue the chess club. So I asked her, what did we need to do, because we've been supporting it for the last 2 years. And she said that all we needed to do, if we could, would be to support the chess club with $130. So I thought that was realistic. It's going to be 13 weeks, 1 day a week, and she's getting help from the chess club at the high school. The chess club at the high school.
So if our budget is getting so low, Minority Health will pay half of the $130.
Oh, okay, well then,
I'll make that in the form of a motion then.
okay, well, we have a motion that Minority Health and the Social Status Commission, would it be easy just to make it 150, that'd be 75 apiece?
That's fine with me.
That the commission would pay 75 and Minority Health pay 75 to Edgewood School so that they can continue the chess club they started for the young elementary kids.
Go for
And
it.
this would be the 3rd year.
I make that motion.
Motion, can we get a second?
Second.
Moved in second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you, I appreciate that. I know she'll be extremely happy. Thanks, Tanya.
Mr. Chair, by chance, this can make that. Mayor,
Well, it's for the students at the school. She said last year, they opened it for everybody, but it got kind of chaotic at times. But she said this year it's gonna be more controlled.
Okay.
There's gonna have, I think most of it is boys.
Okay.
But you know, we've been involved with the Edgewood schools for quite a few years.
I just wanted to make up.
Right, no, I appreciate that, because that's a beautiful program.
Okay.
Well, it's something different.
Well, then
Okay.
you can check out to the,
Yeah, no,
if you make it out to the judge.
Well, give it Marty, if you make it out to us, then Marty can make out the whole thing.
If you want to make it out to,
If she make it out to us, then you just make a whole one out to the school.
yes, sir, make it out to the commission.
Okay. Okay, moving on down, thank goodness, the annual activities report. Who's supposed to give annual activities?
This is for I only received, okay, so if you guys look
Oh,
at,
Annual report.
at the last meeting, we was talking about, with Nala and Marty, I think Secretary, about the potential money that we would have to spend for activities that we've been spending.
there was
Is
an
that what
annual,
that's about?
no, the annual expense report, which is this one. That's what that was about. Marty said he was going to look up to see like how much
Oh,
over, I mean, I know we have our treasury report which says what we have coming out, but we was looking to see kind of an expense report for the entire year so we can just decide
Yeah,
what
what's
that
ready to
fundraising activities that would.
I'll have that for the next meeting, huh?
That's okay, we don't have it.
yeah, we was wondering, because, you know, the Indianapolis trip, different trips that we do
Yes, sir.
annually, the barber shop, if we could put together a ballpark figure.
Ballpark budget, you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And then that'll give us a target, we know, as a minimum, we know we got to do.
Yes.
Right.
Sorry about that.
No problem. And thank you, Rose. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, sir.
Can you handle some more? I mean, you got enough.
Is it?
And then,
I need some sleeping pops. I'm on midnights now, so last night was my first night.
But you're the supervisor, so you send them to work and you can,
I still gotta stay up.
Congratulations, you just.
Thank you.
That's good.
And then the annual report is, okay, so the commission is supposed to have committees, as we were just talking about with the nominations. But I don't know if these committees are actually functioning. And so we need to address what committees, if any, is the actual commissioners going to sit on to replace, so that we can make sure that all of our committees are active. And I would then need a report based on last year's activities of what happened. And I'm going through the reports and I have something already kind of drafted up. But from this point, maybe we can go forward for this year. And again, when Marty comes up with this expense report, we can kind of see how it's working in the committee. So if I may, address each committee and.
Before you get into
Okay.
that, I told you, we haven't had actual committee function for a minute. I think the only committees that normally function was Marty's and Jones, the criminal justice, in terms of two committees.
So just the criminal justice committee.
But that's why I told you to check with Faye and some of the past
This
secretaries in terms of how they put together that pace. Because the things that we've done could be associated with committees because they've been with education and with crime and different things of that nature. But
So when I went to the commission, I mean not the commission, the city council did a meeting addressing all of our commission information and what's happening on these particular commission and deciphering if it was important to continue the commission. And when
did they do this?
do you know?
At our last city council.
So what they come up with?
And right now, they're waiting to hear back from everybody to get a feel as to what are these commissions actually committees actually active or not.
But I'm talking about committees because committees don't function in church. But I'm talking about the commission. I ain't talking about the committees because the committee shouldn't set the stage where the commission.
No, she said
Well, that'll also
I'm
probably,
talking about the committees in
Within the commission.
Oh, I ain't worried about it
Exactly.
if they're looking at if committees are functioning because we over-function, as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
People sitting at the table.
Well, he was saying,
I ain't worried about it. In that sense, so don't you worry about it. If you're talking about are we functioning,
yes.
okay. But you're that's why I'm
Yes.
comfortable. You're a part of it.
Yes.
You know we're doing the
Yes.
best we can. Tell them to give us some more money. If they want us to do more.
And I have inquired about that. And I did, for that being
I'm just
said.
saying, in all seriousness, just,
No, I did.
just tell them that we're doing things now because they finally let us have some money. Before, like I said, all we could do is talk. Because if you ain't got no money, you can't do nothing but talk. In the last few years, since they decided to give us a little money, we're doing all we can. So just if that's what they're concerned about, let's get a few more dollars and we do a few more things.
And actually I had a brief conversation with the mayor in regards to that. I inquired about if he was going to actually be hosting the annual mayor's ball, and if so, I questioned each year that the past mayor elected or selected a organization that they donated to. And how is it that we could get those funds filtered or donated to the African Gardens? But we understand about the African Gardens and then the other activities and programs that we're trying to implement. But I was told that those funds don't go to the individual garden. It goes to the botanical, and that is for the maintenance and the care overall. However, if that does take place, it is possible then that those funds can actually can be given to the actual commission of the social status, and then we can utilize those funds how we see appropriate.
Right. But then that's interesting also, because I was under the impression last year when we got the garden started, we had to take care of maintenance ourselves. So then the city gave them money last year. So if he's saying that the city's giving them money to take care of overall maintenance, I'll check into that. That wouldn't be too bad because we got to pay for our situation anyhow. But that was one of my worries. How are we going to maintain it after we pay for it? But if the city is facilitating money that So there's some good in
That
everything.
takes some weight up off our shoulders.
No, without a doubt. But definitely, to get back to the seriousness of telling them, we're trying to do all we can with what we got, and then we're gonna stretch that. But yeah, I have no problem with scrutiny. I have no problem with them looking at everything that we've done, especially in the last 3-4 years. I think it's 3-4 years. I ain't got no problem looking way on back, because we always intended to do good. So I have no problem with that. But as far as the committees, I used to put pressure on those that have been here for a while. I used to put pressure on trying to get committees to function. So I just said we function as the committee of one.
Okay.
That's
Because
how I look at it, to make it compatible without, because everybody doing the best they can, and everybody got their own organization to worry about. So as far as I'm concerned, the commission is a committee of one, and just spread the stuff out to where it's appropriate.
I agree.
And we move on from that. Okay, Black Males Matter.
Date.
So, two things. I have been in talks with Mrs. Nduku at the high school about students. She's working on students. Only thing is our dilemma is transportation. And I know we have some different options, but a bus would be our best, a bus that somebody can drive. So like Mr. Fly actually had we had talked about his bus. My only dilemma there is that we have to find a driver, and I'm not your driver. I'll be asleep about that time in the morning. But I spoke to Mr. Atkins from New Hope Church.
Right.
I didn't know New Hope actually had a charter bus.
Yeah, we had a commercial bus.
I did not know that. So we talked about that. He gave me a price, which was $13.50. I then reached out to Mr. Muhammad to see if they wanted to do something again. They're not gonna. Their commission is in the, not the fridge, but they're like in between, because they wait for the new administration in the city. They gotta wait for appointments.
The new mayor.
So they're not gonna participate. As I was out and about, I actually had a conversation with a young lady from Central States in their Human Resources Department, and they have monies, and so I actually asked her about if they would purchase or sponsor the bus. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. So that's my dilemma, is transportation. With no transportation, it's gonna be hard to get the kids done.
When is it?
It's the 25th.
25th of this month.
Yes, sir.
Pastor, we talking about the bus?
When do you need it?
The 25th. You think we have it by then?
Mr. Atkins said he can do it. Again, it's just it's the price.
Well,
Yeah.
and I was going.
We'll talk about the price.
Yeah, that's what I finna say. See, talk to the pastor.
Okay.
Right.
We'll work out some. It's in the shop now, getting checked over now. But if we got it out by then, we'll work something out.
Okay.
Cause
Like
you
I
ain't
say, if you guys need a bus, man, you got weak care on that mug, man. Like a daycare.
I see it parked over.
Yeah.
I saw it up
But
there.
I throw it out there for free to you, ain't no charge for me, man, I do it as is.
Yeah, well, can't you do that?
It's your own,
Maybe
man.
you hire his driver.
4 a.m.
Now the driver's side, the only thing I don't have myself will be driving, but I don't want to drive either.
So we have to get a
Yeah,
driver.
you have to be a driver, man.
Well, Marty,
Yes, sir.
he said that the bus is available, but we're gonna need a driver.
Yes, I know. So that's the dilemma, because if somebody gonna raise their hand to drive, then we in a dilemma.
That's another reason, that's another reason to talk
Yes.
to the pastor, because we got a few drivers.
Yes, sir.
And maybe we could, if we gonna get a bus free, we could pay the driver.
Okay.
But let them talk and see if we can work something out. Okay. Was that in as far as the Black Males? We just needed to get some transportation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we got to the 25th, so that's another couple.
But will the church take a check?
What church did it? Does it clear? cash, check, credit, debit. Takes it all.
They'll take, what's that, PayPal or whatever?
As long as it's clear. Pesos.
Black History Month activities.
So I passed around a pamphlet and a flyer. This is the trifold. I did actually email everybody about the brunch that we had on the 1st. That was our kickoff brunch. Our guest speaker, our keynote speaker was Angie Nelson Deitch, which had a good time. So if you look in the trifold, it gives you a rundown of all the activities for the month. Probably have about anywhere from 15 activities going on. Tonight at 6, tonight at 6, at Pleasant Hill Church, we'll have a meet and greet panel discussion with members of our Michigan City Common Council. So if you guys can come out, that you get to meet and greet, ask them questions. They will have some refreshments afterwards. Thursday is our Black Cinema Night. Is our second movie will be Rosewood. Last Thursday was our first movie. We actually did
Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman. Yes, Harriet. And what's unique this year that we got going last year is that we actually have students who are doing the group discussion at the end. And this year, Michigan City High School has a Black Student Union, and actually their students from the Black Student Union are like hosting group discussion people. So come out to that. There will be free refreshments there. It's at Uptown Artspace Uptown Lofts. Then this Saturday is Black Expo. This year we have it at the Lighthouse Mall. They actually gave us a space out there to have Black Expo out in the Lighthouse Mall. And also it'll be Charles Westcott Day from 1 to 3 at the Boys and Girls Club. And then we'll have a Black Cinema Night again every Thursday. The following Thursdays will be Malcolm X, and then the last one will be Hidden Figures. The 22nd, we will have our Quiz Bowl at High Praise Ministries. And then also following that, we have teamed up with the Drifters, and they will do a scholarship workship.
The Charles Westcott Day, is it open to like?
It's open to the public, yep, from 1 to 3 at the Boys and Girls Club. Then the 23rd is the actual talent show, which has been one of our the events that has grown the most. And that'll be at Old Elston Auditorium, the Stan Holcraft Performing Arts Center. And then also, Flyer Center House, the 28th will be our ball, our masquerade ball, which is the Roaring 20s is the theme. This is put on by the Indiana Black Expo. Tickets are $25. I do have tickets if anybody want to purchase them, but again, come out to that event. Like I said, so I hear the pamphlet, it's trifold, it has all the dates, times, locations on it. If there's any question, anybody can feel free to ask me. But we're sponsors were generous this year, so we actually are doing okay in that regards. And even though the commission has always sponsored in the past, we're actually get by without a sponsorship, but just appreciate your participation and support of the events.
I watched the opening on TV, outstanding. Mm-hmm. But that's just the example. Every year, you do an outstanding job with that presentation. She did a beautiful delivery. I liked her theme.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and you were our very first keynote speaker.
It really fitted into the times. I thought she did a tremendous job. So, yeah, we want to definitely participate in all that you can. You can't go to everything, but if you can go to something, go to it. It's very enlightening and enjoyable, and it's about us showing that we care.
Yeah, also, I forgot to point out, the panel discussions are actually new to this, like the community meet and greet is a new event. Again, we try to get stuff where people can get information and also network and get to know each other better. So we also have on the 19th at New Hope, we do have the police chief and his administration will also be available for the meet and greet panel discussion the following Wednesday. So again, it's an opportunity to address any issues you have with the chief. We're really not looking to be confrontational, but more of sharing information and getting to know each other. Yes, sir.
It's transparent, be there and available. Did you say New?
Yes, sir.
All right. But yeah, that'd be beautiful. And you part of that?
I won't be I'll be more like a moderator. I'll be the person passing out the questions and asking questions. I might have a couple of questions too.
But Campbell is a beautiful person. I know that y'all gonna do a good job. But yeah, it's about being transparent, and it's not one of those situations where you want people that stay in trouble to come and challenge. You want people that have legitimate questions to ask and try to get an honest answer.
Yes, sir.
So it's try to push that and get people to come out and get a little closer to our police department. I think it's going to be a different situation this year than we've had in quite a while. But the police are police. You got to do your job. And if you get in trouble, you expect to have a problem. That's how I look at it. Ain't that way it go, Les?
Pretty much.
You get in trouble. If you get in trouble, Marty gonna knock on the door.
But this day and age, they breaking into jail. Everybody else trying to get out, they breaking in.
Yeah, so you know, Marty knocked at my door. I was very, I was a little bit,
Apprehensive.
yeah, but see, I changed though. So when he came to the door, I had to go on, respect y'all. I said, all right, my brother, step right on in.
Hey, we would have been good because you was cooking, so we got 8 persons.
Okay. That takes care of everything. You have some, I don't know, see down here, we got to eat Black History. Okay, and we've taken care of all the other things, and now we got time for, there's one thing, and you know, I've said the last couple of meetings before we ended the year, attendance is extremely important. And hoping that last year we had some hiccups and whatever, but you know, this year we're hoping that everybody that can come. If you're sick, if you're working, and there's legitimate reasons not to be here, so I'm not talking about you gotta struggle to get here. But let's try to make the meetings, because most people make all the meetings, maybe just 1 or 2. Let's try to do as good as we can this year. I see that, you know, that Hope is still struggling. I was hoping that that everybody would be here today. Joan is usually here. She had to be busy.
She has family health issues.
I'm just going to say, because she's always
Tell
here.
y'all make me a member, man.
Well, that might happen.
Tell you,
I was going to
I
say.
ain't got no criminal record no more, man.
It ain't
know what it is, anybody.
That's not.
it ain't
So
about.
if you read in there, it's find out that's.
It's not
that's
about
in
you. It's about your organization.
So about nonprofits participating.
No, it won't be a background check on you. It'll be a background check on your organization.
That's a good thing, right now.
And if they check that, you ain't got no problem. But yeah, the reason I brought that up is because I'm gonna have a serious talk with Hope. Hopefully that they can make something happen right quick. Otherwise, you're right, I'm gonna ask for some volunteers and form a little committee to review who we can invite. As I told the city council, we'll be coming to them for replacement. So that's an option. You're definitely an option.
I appreciate it. I know that is cool too. I like
You
that.
don't have to worry about that. The school system, I wouldn't want to say anything now. I'd let the committee review that and make a recommendation, but that's in the works. So, like I said, I was hoping that, because when you're missing 6, 7 meetings, you're missing more meetings than you're coming to. It ain't me talking, it's you.
They ain't participating.
What I did was say, it ain't me saying something, you're doing it to yourself. If you miss more meetings than you hear, you know, thank God I finally did say something, but we'll get past that and that's gonna be all right. So, I guess now what we do is, we got Faye left? No, she must have missed. We'll decide around and hopefully that each one of you have something to share. It's the first of the year, but I know all y'all probably doing something, so we'll start off.
Okay, well, I have nothing really new to share. Welcome a new member and permanent honorary member so far. But I did want to say that in the event that you do decide to form the committee you were just mentioning, I would gladly volunteer to participate in that. Okay?
Okay.
Now,
I passed out a flyer, so, yes, which we partner with Hope, they're gonna allow us to be there at no cost, so, this is Indiana Black Expo, you know, we're on that board, and, This is something that we're doing in May, so we got a little time to get the word out about this. This will be a health fair, speakers, refreshments. But we need to really be talking about mental health more and more and more and more. Because the mind is not right, everything else is not going to be able to follow and keep up. And just, especially in the African American community, it is not talked about. It is stigmatized more. They're not talking about it in the families as much, so I think I'm gonna do it every year regardless of who I'm working with or for, because this is personal for me. So I hope y'all come out and support that. And Marty already talked about the Roaring 20, so I have tickets as well for that. We have a board meeting tonight to discuss what else we can do for this event. And I just want to touch on the barbershop. So our date was given to us by James, so it's going to be April 25th. Franciscan Health has agreed to partner, and they're going to cover the cost for all of our lunches, and they're going to cover the medical staff. So we still need the non-medical, volunteers or anybody else that wants to, participate or sponsor or do something else, they may have already know. We only going to have 3 shops this year. James wanted to focus on the shops that are having the most traffic, because being that all the shops just spread is so thin, and then if we have all these people sitting at these other shops and it's only 5 screenings getting done, I know it's still a screening, but he wanted us to pull back from that. So the 3 shops are Marvelous Cuts, and they do have a new location, Platinum Designs, and Cutting Up on the Boulevard. So if something changes and we add another shop later, I'll keep that open. But
Why did he say he talking about? I'm asking that. You just made comments about how important talking about health is, and he talking about minimizing that.
yeah, I think he talked about that on the conference calls that we've had. Kind of pulling, because it costs, I guess, much more to have, a shop.
It don't cost. If you said Franciscan gonna pay for the food, they gonna bring in medical people at food for us. I don't know. You talking about the
technical probably. I would assume. Because it wouldn't be too much on our end. But if we don't have the staff and we're struggling every year, we end up doing it. But we're like scroungers trying to find enough medical to be at all those shops.
Okay,
and to volunteer their time, and then, me and Marty ripping and running around,
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that this year, since we have the volunteer, especially if Franciscan is going to be involved.
If they give me more people, then I could add another shop. I mean, I don't have no issue.
If you said they going to provide the medical people, so that means we let them know how many we need.
I think that was so their initial contact was after we had 3 shops. So if we add 2, they gave us people for 3 shops.
So you don't know what?
We don't know if they would get more.
We can still
because when we had conversation with Franciscan, we were down at we had the 3 shops.
Which makes it different.
Yes, sir.
But the reason I'm saying that is, we talking about getting information out.
Yeah.
And he talking about minimizing information. Okay, but we'll see how it goes, and then we have the capacity maybe to
Then we can add, the 2 other ones, which was what Sharp's Image and C Sharp.
Because in one of the conversations we had, I think somebody the mayor brought up an individual that might want to get involved. Instead of narrowing it, we could expand it. And to me, it ain't about the numbers. It's about if you have one.
I think it could be about those tablets too, because we used them for our program and they're quite expensive. They ran like a little over $2,000 a piece for us to use them. Yeah, and that expense comes from.
They come information. That's how you input the information, so the information goes straight to them.
They send them to us, don't they?
Yes, sir.
They're paying this company out of south of Indianapolis.
So you're talking about they're expensive?
They get their tablets from this company. Yes.
Okay, no problem. So we'll see how it goes.
We can see how it goes if we get enough medical and even the non-medical, because I still need folks to come
Well,
to
the
the shop.
volunteers,
Yeah.
we're still seeking volunteers, because if you got these small endeavors, then you put a small crew. I mean, you adjust based on the situation.
Yeah.
If they only get 3 or 4, then you might not need 1 or 2 people to be there, but it
Yeah, that'd
depends
be
on,
one-on-one.
it depends on volunteers, so we still push to get as many volunteers. We
Okay.
got some time, no problem.
All right.
All right.
Nyla, can I get the information from last year's health
Barbershop.
barbershop? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I sent that to you. I'm sorry.
No.
That's
Okay, let's go. Yeah.
what's happening?
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot. I'm on the,
You come out all right, you healthy?
yeah, everything's good, everything's good. I'll see him again in 4 months and hope everything keep rolling. But now, just to share, I'm on the board for the Community Corrections Board. And it's no secret how many of our young black males get hooked up in the system. And like I said, I don't know whether it's in the water or what, but they seem to be breaking in jail instead of trying to get out. You know, so it's a situation. The Community Corrections is a wonderful program. Great alternative to ISP. And it has a lot to offer, but I don't think it's being utilized to its full potential. So me, along with some other board members, we stressed our concerns, and we're gonna make the people at the Community Corrections put the pedal to the metal and get it going and doing what they are actually supposed to be doing.
Is anyone
And I
who can
just-
help, your support?
I'll let you know. You know, I'll come and ask in a minute. So right now, we're just trying to get some things going, trying to get the program functioning, get the people inside the program to basically do their job, do what they're getting paid to do.
It's important.
And that's hold them accountable.
Definitely.
And in return, they can hold the inmates accountable.
Right.
You know,
So keep us informed
I will.
if you can help in any kind of way. Marty.
So I didn't get a chance to make copies, but the Human Rights Commission, we actually have finalized our scholarship applications for the Hawkins Williams Scholarship and the Judy Huber Scholarship. I do have, I can make copies if anybody wants them, but we will try to get them on the website, and they have been sent out to our local schools. But if anybody wants a digital form, I can actually send you one. I thought I sent the whole commission.
sent it.
Did I send it to the whole commission? Okay, all right, so I sent it to the whole commission. So those are out, so if you get there $1,000 a piece, the deadline is April 3rd, 2020 for the applications to be submitted. And then we will present the winners at our annual luncheon, which will be sometime in June, I think.
April 23rd?
Huh? April 3rd is the deadline. To get them in. So that's right before spring break, so kids can finish up their application and then go have a good time for spring break. Also, I am the chair for the Rotary Foundation Scholarship this year, so that scholarship application is also out. It will be on the Rotary Board's, Rotary Foundation's website. And those are, we usually give out 2 to 3 $2,000 scholarships. But if we get qualified candidates that are good candidates that might, one year I think we gave out 5. So it's $2,000 a piece. Again, those are out to the schools. I do have a
Is there
digital
any-
copy.
Qualifications?
I don't know. It's on there. I don't.
It's always.
It's the basic, I mean, you know what, Rotary and they're more service based than they are grades. You have to have at least a C average. I know that offhand, but they're more service based. We look more about your service than we do look about your grades. I mean, that grades is a component of both of them, but services are big for both of them. On that note, as I talked about the Black History Month events and activities, the Drifters of Michigan City every year do a scholarship workshop. And so this year, we have been lucky to partner with them to do it right after, one of their workshops right after the Quiz Bowl at High Praise. At that workshop, they basically will walk students through the processes in order for the scholarship. So not just these, but Unity Foundation, all the scholarships that are out there, they'll help out. So it would be in our best interest to, kind of help promote that, to get kids out to that event. Because again, I mean, as we have experienced ourselves with our scholarship, is that we don't get as many applicants as you would think. And I mean, as they say, it's really free money.
When is that again?
That is the workshop, scholarship workshop is February 22nd from 12 to 2 at High Praise Ministries, which is 301 East 9th Street. If we can help promote that and get that word out about those scholarships, it would be nice. Say, because it's free money and.
It's good.
Every penny counts.
Matter of fact, I got an application from Reverend Jeter, gave it to me. I forgot to bring it for our scholarship. I'll get it to you. But as you said, we need to push these young blacks, male, female, to at least apply. You don't know what's going to happen if you don't apply. You ain't used to thinking about it. If you don't apply, you ain't got a chance. But because you're right, the Unity Foundation give out what, 30 or some crazy number?
They have there's literally 20 to 25 different scholarships that they give out that they maintain.
And we have outstanding black kids at the high school. They're not just C students. We have A and B students that are involved. So what we got to do is to start encouraging them to at least try. But the parents got to understand, because a lot of parents will allow to take care of whatever. Yeah, you can take care, but if you can get some help, it
So
makes
they
it a
won't
lot
come up with that
easier.
old excuse that, I didn't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We got to get the word out. We got to push it for the next month or so. Talk about it as much as possible in your environment. Talk about it from the different organizations and in church and whatever. We got the pastor here with the Ministerial Alliance. We need to get the Ministerial Alliance to put a flyer out to all the churches. If you're black thinking about going to college, at least apply for a scholarship.
Right.
And they probably get some. But we got to promote that more.
And there's flyers here. You say you got flyers, you got to put out flyers. Because I got a short program coming up. I can take with
Oh,
me.
right.
Take
Well,
some
we
with me and
could
give
put
to them.
together a flyer or just information, or have somebody, we have Marty or Nyla or somebody
Stop
come
in
and talk.
Yeah, that's cool
Talk
too.
to them about the need for them to at least prepare themselves for that, right?
Okay, that's cool.
Pastor, did you bring something with you for this first meeting?
No,
Would you like to-
just excited to be a part.
Is there alliance?
We're actually changing officers with the Alliance. So in the next few weeks, we're going to have a new president, just redesigning the Alliance. More scholarship-based, more fellowship-based. But also when it comes to even transportation, if you do call the New Hope, just shoot me a text so I kind of know what they quote you. That way I can see what we can do, especially I'll take care of that today. Actually, I'm taking care of it right now as we speak. Thank God for text message. So, but just excited to be a part.
This new year, fresh blood, just like the council lady said, she brought up the African Gardens, which is the project we got started, so the anxiety is over. They done planted something. Now we got to do is take our time and raise money and finish paying for it. Or we can do sections at a time. But the reason I brought it up, I've been thinking about an idea to raise some funds, especially if the Alliance want to get active. Maybe the commission and the Alliance can put on a gala, a fundraiser. The commission, we do things that are appropriate, and the Alliance represents a lot of churches, or some churches. I mean, a gala type of thing, we probably could get the Senior Citizen Center pretty deep, cheap or whatever, I would think, if the mayor would help us out. And I'm saying that for people to think about it, some conversation, because what I'm thinking about is the commission take half, the Alliance take half. I know the Alliance want to start giving out scholarships. They got things they want to do. We trying to get some money, not just for the African Gardens, but to carry out our program. There's something to think about, because we've been kicking around how to raise money. It might be right in front of us. But I just want to throw that out there for something to think about. Yes, ma'am.
if possible, I would like to have a speaker to come in April, at our next meeting in April, which actually will be the LaPorte County prosecutor or one of his deputies to come out to speak on the Criminal Rule 26. And that's in regards to current arrestees, if they will be able to be released on their or similar to an OR. But to go into detail, because that is going to affect a lot of our African American males that are currently incarcerated. And when they do this assessment, we'll determine if they're going to be able to get released sooner than carrying out their time being incarcerated. So I received a text message from Prosecutor Lake today. They can't make it in April, so they asked if they could, they can't make it next month, if they can make it in April for our next meeting.
Okay.
That rule didn't include like sentenced incarcerated people. It's like when before bond issue,
Yes.
right?
You know,
Bond
a lot of people don't realize, but like 90% of the people in county jail are there because they can't make bond.
Right.
And that's why I thought it was imperative to actually have the prosecutor or a deputy prosecutor to come and explain it in detail and how this will impact if you know someone that's currently incarcerated.
Yeah, I think it's from our end. It's meant to take the burden down off incarceration. So for instance, say possession of marijuana now. It's a misdemeanor, low-level misdemeanor offense. If you don't have any priors, or if you are not a flight risk, actually instead of me arresting you on scene, I can do a non-custodial arrest, which basically give you a ticket to make a court date. Yeah, instead of before it used to be it was an offense that you went straight to jail. So now you're in jail trying to get bond, opposed now where you're out. And now you just have to worry about your case and your fees. Now you have to get them fines and fees at the end, but you got time to work on that opposed to. So that's just an example of.
Good. Definitely have them come, because it's like Leslie was saying, we need to get as much information out about health and about criminal justice. Anything that would enlighten an individual into what their options are.
Mm-hmm. The April meeting is April 8th.
Okay.
So just,
Yes.
So without a doubt, we'll schedule that. So tell them when.
We used to have, here in LaPorte County, we used to have several ways of bonding, cash bond, OR, and surety, which would be a bail bondsman. The judges have done away with a lot of the bail bonds. The bondsmen here in Michigan, in LaPorte County, are no longer, or in South Bend, St. Joe County. They are filled in Elkhart. They have surety bonds where you give the bondsman the 10% and he gets you out. And there used to be a lot of people that could get out that ordinarily wouldn't get out, but the judges here in LaPorte decided to get rid of the bail bondsman and go with, they didn't want the surety, they wanted either cash, which most people couldn't come up with, or else a property bond.
So we do have bail bondsmen still, right?
No, well, it's up to the judge. The judge determines whether it's going to be a cash bond, a surety bond, or OR. It's up to the judge, and most of the judges here in LaPorte have done away with the bail bondsman. So
we'll look forward to our guests, and then if you have questions or.
When did that happen?
Yesterday, you can go to a bail bondsman anytime.
You can go to a bail bondsman.
we have
Bail bondsman all day.
we have one bondsman.
Well, that doesn't have
One
anything to do
company
with the system.
that's in Michigan City.
All right,
In
no
the
problem.
port, right across from the
And-
church.
Right. But they
don't have as many bonds.
Okay, let's move on.
they're not used.
Let's move on.
And just one more, and that is,
Right on, Miss Carol. I hear you, baby.
in June, the Indiana Child Support will be having their annual child support conference held here in Michigan City, Indiana, for the first time ever, and it's going to be at Blue Chip, and that's where all the 40 child support agencies out of the 92 counties can come to attend. And I have been. been asked to do a presentation on the barbershop talk. But with that, I will be If there's any other fatherhood programs that's out there, I can also have them to be a presenter with me. And I also asked if I could have a representative from the Commission of the Social Status to be in attendance to speak as well, and they said yes.
Well,
So
you're a representative of the commission.
I am, but I'll be speaking in regards to the child support part of it. But if I could have someone from the commission to speak about the social status and how it all ties in, and the impact of the African American males as a whole,
Right.
to speak.
What date is
They
that?
providing a meal?
I have to find
I really don't know if somebody can't do it, I'll volunteer to, as long as it fits in my schedule. But so I'm saying, if
Okay.
that's okay with the commission or somebody else.
I could too, either.
So I'll have to see, or the secretary, or Ms. Troutman cares to participate as well, because she normally goes with me to the barbershop talk, so that as many, we all have a part in a role to play would be perfect. The day has not been set, but the week is June 2nd through the 5th.
We got time to put it together then. Beautiful, beautiful.
Is that all for you, Tracy?
Yes.
Okay, well, Pastor, hold your thought for a minute. Tanya says she gotta leave.
I have a 1 o'clock.
Go, you have something to share with us,
Yes,
Tanya?
first of all, I want to thank the commission for the flowers and the card that I received for the passing of my mom last month. The other thing I want to mention is the coalition has petitioned the school board to rename the track field after Barbara Jones Slater, and Marty was a part of that, so they approved our letter to get the track and field named after her, and that will happen at a track meet in April. I'm not going to give you the date because it's not written in stone yet. And so Ms. Slater is an Olympian champion, and her record still holds today, and she taught here. The other thing I wanted to ask about is the Minority Health Partners would love to participate with the Black Barbershop Initiative, and if you call the office and leave a message, then I will make sure that Tommy participates with. We want to still be a part of that.
Right, no problem, no problem.
Tommy, a good guy, man. I like Tommy.
Anything else, Tanya?
No, that's it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
No problem, thank you.
Okay, so the NAACP has our Trailblazers event coming up Saturday, March 21st. We're honoring educators, including Ernestine Bernard, James Cartwright, Faye Cunningham, Denny Edwards, Tracy Lipscomb, Sylvester Mabone, Wendell McCullum, Peggy Thomas, Kathy Walker, Barbara Easton Watkins, and Carlotta Williams Adam. We will also be remembering Bear Falls, as well as DeWitt Martin and Mr. Donnie Thomas. And there will be special recognition to Chief Dion Campbell, as well as Angie Nelson Deutsch, how you say it. But we also extended out, to Marty's point, we also extended out our scholarships to the 17th, which is Monday. Because we usually give out 2 scholarships. We only had 1 applicant. See a kid, grab a kid, tell them to get to NAACP, LaPorte County, 3061.com. The scholarship is there, okay? We want to give out to 1 male, 1 female, we always do, but we don't have kids. And don't miss it. I tried to see if we can extend it out to the 22nd, which is the scholarship program, but we just can't because we need to be able to have it together for this, to present it to this event. So please grab a kid, and then while you have that kid, tell them about the other scholarships, but also ask them, do you want to be a part of the Youth County Commission? Because it's important that we get somebody there. I also just want to lift up the president of the Youth Council, who has decided to go into
Air Force Reserves.
Air Force Reserves. So he said he knew he wanted to serve, and he just found a different way to serve. So congratulations and kudos to him. And also, if you are on a committee, or if you have done an event last year, I know Marty got me his stuff, and I just asked Nyla for some stuff. I also asked Millsap for some stuff with the economy. Please get me your information or some type of report, and if anything I already have, I can put into that. So like, I don't have the numbers for last year's health report, and I know we got some stuff that we did for this barbershop talk. The reports have to be given to the city council on the first week of March, so that Tuesday. So I need this information no later than next week, please. And the last and final thing that I want to say is that we are also looking for sponsorships for our Trailblazers event, because this is our kind of gala. This is our event that gives us our fundraising majorly for the year to be able to put on stuff. So it is the Founders Day. So happy Founders Day to the NAACP that was founded 100 and I don't remember I think it's like 115 years ago today. And so I just want to say that the mission of the NAACP is to secure the political, educational, social, and economic equality of rights in order to eliminate race-based discrimination and ensure the health and well-being of all persons. And the last thing I want to say, it is also the anniversary, it's the 120th anniversary of the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. So there is an article on our page if you want to read more about that and how it came about, just through kids singing the song at a school. So how important are kids and how powerful can kids move things? And with that being said, happy Black History Month 365. Merry Christmas.
Pastor, I'm sorry.
Yes, I didn't want you all to think I was so smart about the bonding business. But years ago, when I was a young man, I was a pretrial release officer, and I worked a lot with the bail bondsman and the surety, and so we had also a pretrial release officer, which if the judge chose to go with the pretrial release officer, he would then go and interview them, and if they qualified, if they didn't live in some other state, then they would more or less qualify for that. I didn't want you to think I knew everything about bondsmen, because I don't, but I was a pretrial release officer when I was younger. I also want to thank the president of the NAACP, Minister Scully, for inviting me on his TV program for community enlightenment, and that was about, he invited me for black and white polio, and Mr. Gates Foundation has now is searching for another $150 million for an extension for 3 years for Africa, Pakistan, and Nigeria, where the polio is still running rampant. And so we almost got it eradicated, of course, here, but over there, it's still alive, and the children are still. So we're going to keep it up. We're in partnership with the Rotary Club for another three and a half years. They're going to have their partners with the Rotary. I'm also going to be on the board of the Rotary starting whenever, July or something like that. But that is just about all I've got to say. At any rate, here again, the nominations, I didn't hear nothing about, so I asked Merry Christmas, and she told me it was tabled. I only did that for the vice president only because I didn't hear anybody else chime in. So I would go ahead and withdraw, so somebody else could have an opportunity to make that.
No problem. We're going to deal with that at the next meeting. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Pastor Williams, so you do have an announcement from the Ministerial Alliance. Yes, you do, because somebody is running for a position.
Oh, Pastor Lane is running for LaPorte County Council. So we definitely thank you so much at large.
You could have did that.
I know, but I just wanted to know.
I said, what?
Yeah, Lane is running, which is, I have no problem with it. But, hopefully we can get the stuff together. And Willie was, one and all, people don't realize Willie made history when he got elected county commissioner. Willie was the first black elected in the county. So, for some reason, it's been kind of taboo to us. So I applaud Lane for taking the opportunity to try to get involved in that agenda, because it impacts us. And we're part of the Port County, so everything the county commission do and everything the county council do impacts on us.
Directly or indirectly.
Hey, tell me about that. So we need to get, so I'm encouraged, we need to get more involved politically in those things that impact on us. This ain't got nothing to do with Washington, that's madness. Local is where it happens, so we gotta be more conscious of the local situation. And I applaud Lane for making that move, and we'll pray that everything work out for him. He's a beautiful representative, he's transparent, he represents the community, and he's a good person. So we'll see how that goes. Did y'all do anything different on that?
Yes, sir. You know, we stay in the game, man. Right, just always getting it on.
You got 2 minutes, I have to put time in there. What's that?
So, you know, I'm gonna bring that good vibe, smile vibe. We Fly Youth got it going on once again, March 2nd.
Okay, give him some respect,
March 2nd.
Just a tad bit.
What's happening
March 2nd, we starting our short program out there in Lakeland at the community center. The Housing Authority has allowed and donated their building for us, that community center out there, they donated it. So we was fortunate to, I got heads up that the enrichment court grant went through, so we got that. And so those funds is gonna be ready and available for us by March 2nd. Well, whether I'm being reimbursed or not, but we got that part. And right now I'm working on sponsorship letter with Horizon Bank. I was informed to give them reach out to them, and they're willing to also donate and sponsor some monies towards our goals of our SOAR program out in Lakeland. And Norvell, he's on the board at the Housing Authority. Next Tuesday, I have to just present in front of the Housing Board just a generalization of what we're going to be doing out there in Lakeland and how we're going to be mobilizing the kids out there. And the lawyer looked over our information. We had to go. We had to make sure insurance and liability was all covered. So we got to go, and that's a 3-month program. And then we incorporate 15 more kids every 3 months, and hopefully we continue on with them same procedures. So Fire Youth is definitely in the building, and that's how it goes for us. We got it going on.
What time?
What times?
The SOAR programs.
The SOAR program start March 2nd. We're going to go on Mondays and Tuesdays, 4 to 6 p.m. on both days. And it lasts for approximately 3 months. After that 3 months, we'll get 15 more students. But in between time, Fly High will be doing other things also. You know, in between time. Mondays and Tuesdays, yeah. Summer gonna come up, so when summer hours come, we probably switch the hours from 4 to 6 up earlier in the day, catch them kids before they get out in the streets, you know, and that's what we got going on.
Kenny, where you guys getting your kids from? Are you getting them specifically from Lakeland, or do you have other?
Oh no, this program is not limited to. It's really countywide.
I know, but where are you getting your kids from?
Our kids are basically coming off of out there in the city, a little bit of everywhere, not just Lakeland or like anything dealing with just like the Housing Authority. You know, it ain't like just them families that live in them.
No, I understand. I was just wondering where you
Right. Yeah, we get them variety of places, you know. Well, whoever step up, they fill out the sign up.
School system as well.
Well, schools, yeah, of course. They gotta be in. Well, they ain't really gotta be in school. Like the older kids, like some of them may have dropped out. We're not rejecting anyone that's a youth. You know, maybe this will be able to turn them around. You know, get them back on the right course. But everybody's included actually that's available. If they can fill out the sign up forms, have their medical stuff there, and give us consent. You know, and release us liability to us, and we take them from there.
Good.
And the age group?
Age group is from 9 to 19. Yep, you figure 19, they get out of school, got nowhere to go. Them a couple of years right there, we catch them. About 9, they able to get a comprehensive, know what's right and wrong for real. So we trying to catch them right there and catch them right there, you know.
Sounds like a good program.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to it. Hanging in.
I will, sir.
Okay, Faye, you just like to come, huh?
Yes, I miss y'all.
Yeah, right. The Immigration Director.
I don't have anything. Oh, I do, Mr. Troutman, I do have I do. I know we talked about it, but I have tons of social status stuff. If you need anything to look, I think I can read almost a drawer full of just social status stuff.
Okay.
So somebody was keeping up with it.
Okay, good.
Any other comments, questions, or anything? It's a little after one, but we had a good meeting. Yes, sir.
Yeah, if there's any other committees that I can be an asset to, I'd be more than happy.
Thank you, Will. I appreciate that. Anybody else have anything? If not, then I'm open for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moving second, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Good meeting. Good meeting.
Marty.